Alrighty, here we go. I'm just about to start making the rice for the national dish of a great country, of Nicaragua. They say it could be Costa Rican, but we won't give them the credit for it. We'll just give it. We'll just give the credit to Nicaragua. Meanwhile, I got oil and butter right there in the pan. I got my beans in the fridge, just kind of soaking and hanging out. They're going to be spending the night there in some water. I added some garlic powder to the water just for flavor. So for the rice, it's pretty simple. I got an onion chopped up small. I got garlic. I got the rice. It's my seasonings. I got salt, pepper, a little oregano, and garlic powder and onion powder just to reinforce the flavors, and of course the water. Very simple. Now the one thing I do have to say is that the the butter that I put in here isn't 100% traditional, but anytime you add butter to like making a rice or anything like that, it's only going to taste better, really. So I used oil, quite a bit of oil, and some butter, and I'm just going to let those onions kind of just sit in there for just a few minutes. Now you may ask, well, that kind of looks like a lot of oil, a lot of butter. You know what? You're right. But here's the deal. In my research of this dish, Gallo pinto, it did say to toast the rice before you add the water and do the cooking of the rice. It just helps with the flavor, helps caramelize the grains of the rice, which I completely agree with. So that's why you see quite a bit of oil in there, which a lot of that's just going to be absorbed. It's one of those things I love watching. I love watching onions and stuff saute in oil, which is so nice. I just keep it on high right now. We're pretty much just doing almost a shallow fry. Yeah, so true story. What's the story behind me making this and giving this a shot? It's the national dish of a country I've come to learn about and respect since it's in Israel's history and his heritage. So I thought it would be nice to do some research and look into his homeland, homeland of him and his wonderful mother and her family. I have nothing but total respect for those people living in the conditions and the circumstances that they are. It's a total story of you don't have a lot of money, but you have each other. And that's really what it's all about. You can go to certain areas in the world and everything's all coated in gold and rolling in money, and sometimes it's not all about that. Sometimes it's about family and food. And the more I look into the country of Nicaragua, it's just absolutely beautiful. The people are just wonderful. The natural beauty is second to none. Like, I'm blown away by a location called Ometepe Island. Got the two volcanoes, got that beautiful water. Man, is that beautiful. Whole country, tropical, lush. Just the circumstances, the political circumstances are very unfortunate, but it's a great, great country. So I'm just going to put the phone down for just a second while I add some garlic. And there you have it. That's just a tablespoon of chopped up garlic. You notice the onion's starting to get a little bit of color, which is exactly what you're looking for. But yeah, I mean, I have a bucket list of places that I want to go internationally, and there are some security concerns, but certainly want to go. And you just kind of want to go like that with your spoon, and still a little bit of hardness left on those onions. So I'm just going to go one more minute. I throw the rice in. I'm going to throw the spices in and the water in. Making this the night before because again, I've never made this kind of food before, and the consensus is you make your rice the night before. So just starting to get some color on those onions. Is nice and as close as I can get, which is nice. Yeah, it's just really impressive to me to see just how those people are able to just be so happy and be so cheerful and really come together as a community. I think we're just way too lucky living here in the United States, where we have everything that we need. Like, we can drink the water, we got electricity, we got, well, now we got an amazing president. So, you know, it's I don't know, it kind of feels like you have a little bit too much, to be honest. But massive, massive respect for those people. Really, really massive respect. And yeah, if I can be kind of a little bit more reassured on the security side, and I just need an interpreter to help with the language barrier. I don't know Spanish, even though I took it in high school and I did great. I don't remember hardly any of it. But yeah, it's also been a pleasure watching and supporting their national soccer team. They're getting closer and closer. Just gotta get some wins. Cause they gotta make that stadium a loud, crazy place for for the team. And the teams that come in and play, you know, it's a little too comfortable right now, but they gotta just make the atmosphere. And I think if the players just go out there and not play as nervous, certainly see some good things happening. I've looked ahead. The U15 and U17 teams are looking really good, so there is a really nice youth push in Nicaragua. So you know what? It's all going to get better. It'll get better. In goes the rice. Right there. Just going to put the phone down for just a second when we serve the rice in. There we go. And you have the onion, you have the garlic, you have the rice in there. And this is why you want to have that amount of oil, because look, the rice is a very thirsty thing, and it likes to drink any kind of liquid. And that seasoned oil is going right into that rice. Going to make the rice nice and happy. I'm just going to add the spices, give it a stir, and I'll show you what it looks like. Give it a little bit of a stir. And that's what it looks like now. If you look at the white rice, you get a little bit more white. That's mainly just from sauteing it in the oil. And now I'm going to go in and I'm just going to put the water in. Make some noise. There we go. Going to give this a stir. So again, this was oil, butter, melt it down. Take a sweet onion, chop it up into small pieces. Tablespoon of chopped up garlic. Get that into the oil, get that working, get that moving and grooving. And yeah, you want to just saute that so the onions start to turn a little bit of a color. The onions start to get a little bit like the color of the end of the spoon, actually. Likes to stick to the end of the spoon, actually. But yep, then throw your spices in. This is going to be really good flavor. While you're stirring, you want to make sure that you're not only stirring, but you want to scrape that bottom, because sometimes when you're sauteing in olive oil, in oil or butter or whatever, stuff will get stuck to the bottom. No worry, that's all just flavor. That's just happiness right there. And now the water's in there. I crank that up to high. And once that comes to the boil, in about a minute. So tomorrow, just a preview of tomorrow. It's going to be, take a pan, probably that one in the back that's just kind of sitting there waiting. Just going to put a little oil, again, a little onion, a little garlic. And then I'm going to take the beans, boil those for probably 20 to 30 minutes, probably closer to 30, because you want them to be nice and soft for the next stage. You want it to be nice and soft for that next stage. And yeah, just in the water. With the beans. Once the beans do come up to the boil, that's when you add a little bit of salt. You never want to soak the beans in salt, because they'll stay hard forever while they're boiling. So there's the rice. Night before, I kind of like the idea of knocking out a couple of steps the night before. I like that idea. And you know, this seems nice and simple, which, you know, again, because of resources and money and politics, you know, the people of Nicaragua probably don't have access to too many fancy add-ins, so it's pretty much just make do with what you got. Now that's boiling, put a lid on it, put that down to low, and just let that go 25 minutes or so. I thank you very much. I will be right back with you once I get to the next step tomorrow morning. Bye bye. Good night.